Hello and welcome to the first episode of Shakes and Fidget free to play playthrough. As you can see, the server EU3 is starting in 1 day and 22 hours, and I have decided to start this series to prove myself and to showcase to other players that free to play uh, play style is a valid way of playing, and that you can achieve a lot by being just a free to play player and utilizing the shroom sources which are available in game or which are free in general. Um, the the concept of shrooming is such that it does speed up the process of leveling. It does make you level really really fast and get the best gear really really fast, achieve wonders in a really short span. However, free to play does catch up after a while, and this after a while is a year of playing or more. But Shakes and Fidget is a type of a game which is played on the long run. It's not a game which you play for 6 months and you are already, let's say, top level. The reason for this is there is a bunch of achievements and even certain pets which you can only achieve and get on a certain dates in the year, certain periods of the year. So for sure, this is not a game which you can, let's say, finish. It's not a finishable game, but it's not a game which you can finish in a short period of time. With that said, I have defined certain rules which I would try to follow in this gameplay. I will show them on the screen right now. So my main goal is to achieve level 300. Of course, I will continue playing even afterwards. But the main goal of this is to achieve level 300. This is, let's say, a some average level which players do achieve, and after that, a lot of people stop playing because the game is quite repetitive later on. And if we're talking about dungeons, let's say killing a dungeon boss on a higher level, on a dungeons, let's say 15 and above, it takes a while for you to get enough stat points or gear to be able to defeat the boss. So after a level 300, it's quite a repetitive game, unless there is, of course, some events, legendary dungeon, elevator, or similar. So from this point of view, I would consider that my let's say a playthrough is finalized with level 300. However, I will continue playing probably, and might continue creating episodes just to showcase how the gameplay might look after level 300. Second sort of rule is that it will be fully free to play, which means not a single cent, nothing will be spent on any shrooms, on hourglasses, sandglasses, whatever the name is exactly. So no shop-based source for shrooms or any other items. The main mushroom source given here, it's generally not a rule, just as an explanation. The main mushroom source will be in-game, which means quests, which means the Dr. Ababovu or whatever his name is, the wheel, and also the calendar of the daily logins, which sometimes gives one, three, or five shrooms, if I'm not mistaken. So I will not exclude these as sources of mushrooms because this is free to play. This is available in game, and anyone can achieve this. Um, and the second is also creator slash giveaway codes. As you know, when a server, as you might know or might not know, when a server starts, usually there is a creator, content creator codes, which give you, actually, they don't give you mushrooms, but they do give you certain items which can boost your gameplay. And this is the life of potion of eternal life and 50% mount, and I think lucky coins. So from this point of view, I would for sure, because this is free to play, I would use this. And also, if there would be any giveaways from these content creators from the official Shakes and Fidget stream, I would of course utilize them. Bear in mind that I would probably not be utilizing them at the start because Still have other servers where I'm focused on, mainly EU2, where I have spent money and I was focused on leveling my character there. So from this point of view, I will not probably utilizing the giveaway codes, perhaps in the future, but just that you're, let's say, are aware that these are available, and also that in some cases, because this is also free to play, it's just RNG. If you will get or win a giveaway, then I might utilize them. I will be playing warrior class. The reason for this is because I do have all the others. Actually, I'm not still 100% decided if it would be warrior or scout. Hello again, future Borro here. I have actually decided to go for a scout. The main reason for this is because the scout's damage output is higher than warrior, and added to this, the dodge chance. It's a great way to win arena fights, to progress in the dungeons as a free-to-play player. Warrior has a higher health pool. However, the damage output, and it also has a chance to block, but the damage output is quite low, so it would take me a while to achieve what I want. And this is the main reason why I decided for a scout, even though I really wanted to play as a warrior, as I never played with warrior before. So back to the past Borro. I will be creating the character still today. The main reason is just to fulfill the requirements which are currently given on the screen, and that's that. If I verify now, I would get 25 mushrooms. Bear in mind that if you verify your email address, exactly the second point, validate your character. So if you verify your email address, you will get the 25 mushrooms anyway. So you don't have to do it within this 1 day and 22 hours that is given here. You can do it even afterwards. So whenever you create a character and you do verify your email, you will get these shrooms. So you don't have to rush it, especially if you are watching this stream after, well, this would be 14th of April. If you're watching after 14th of April, you can still create a character and you can still get these mushrooms. This whole series would also help you when a new server starts. There is a new server starting every couple of months, I would say. Um, let's say 2 to 3 months. So you can use this to decide if you are gonna go with a free to play, or if you want to be an echo shroomer, or if you want to be full out shroomer. I will give some tips whilst playing how, let's say, I would play it as an echo. I have never been a full shroomer, so I cannot vouch if the echo shroomer tactics does apply. To a certain extent they do apply as a full shroomer. It's just that as a full shroomer you have access to really a lot of shrooms. This is measured in tens of thousands, and then of course it's just using the shrooms as you see fit to get what you need in the game. There are of course certain rules. I have thought through about my gameplay as a free to play just to a certain extent. So um, for example, uh, the the amount of shrooms which I will have um, as as a free to play at the start should be 30. If I'm not mistaken, you start with 5 shrooms by default, and after validation, I would get 25 shrooms, so I would have 30. I would get a 50% mount from the creator code. So I will not be buying mount in the first 2 weeks. There is no reason for that because the mount stack, but I would like to focus in the first 2 weeks on achieving something. So spending shrooms and or gold to get a mount or extension of the mount would I don't see it benefit in the first 2 weeks. Afterwards, I would decide if I would continue with the 50% mount or I would use the 30% mount. Actually, both are viable because within 2 weeks of having the 50% of mount, you can, in a worst case scenario, get 14 shrooms from a first daily quest. So first usage of your adventure thirst. So you are already, let's say, 3/5, 60% through to getting the 50% mount extended. Of course, if you are a bit more lucky using your adventure thirst, you will get more shrooms, and then you can, on a, let's say, bi-weekly basis, uh, extend the amount. There is no it's not bad using 30% of mount. Of course, 50% of mount is the best. And if you do not have enough shrooms, you can always opt for the 30% of mount. Bear in mind that it requires a bit of gold. So I will be using 50% mount, and you also get a potion of eternal life when you start, whether you use the creator code. I am not sure if it's sellable. I think that the one which you get in the first package is sellable and you get 100 gold. The one from the creator code, I don't think it is. If it is, I will sell it. Um, Having a potion of eternal life is great. It's one of the three potions which you use on any character class. It's just that having 100 gold for upgrades for the guild upgrades, so treasury and instructor, it's much more valuable. So I would opt for that rather than having the eternal life. Eternal life you can get either in the daily logins, or sometimes if you're lucky you can get it only for gold uh, in the magic shop. So I would always, if I have enough gold, if I don't, I will try to farm it to buy it, because this is the best uh, potion. And then the lucky coins which you get, I would not use it immediately. There are certain cases where I would use lucky coins on the wheel. I mean, first I cannot use lucky coins, um, or I can, but the wheel is the first wheel is quite limited, or the rewards there are not great. They're okay. So I would keep them until there is a boost on the wheel, either in terms of potentially getting an epic, or getting amount extend or increased amount of fortress materials. So I would keep it for that. Um, so that's the couple of things which I already planned. And getting back to the topic of the guild upgrades, so as a free to play player, I of course have a limited amount of gold and a limited amount of shrooms. So I cannot go the standard 4 6 upgrades, which is the best way to upgrade on a server start. 5 is okay, but having 4 on treasury and 6 on instructor is the best one. And this requires you to sell the potion of eternal life. So from this point of view, I will not be able to go for this. I would not have the gold first and foremost. However, I will try to get the upgrades at least to 4 um, on the first day, and this should be possible because when the server starts, there is usually an increased experience event and increased gold event. And with this in mind, doing the quest, doing the first 100 adventure first, you should be able to get enough gold to do the first 4 upgrades. This comes approximately to 280 gold to have the boat on 4. So I think this is more than achievable. If I have more, I would go more, and the main usage of my shrooms would be for the upgrades. uh, a lot of guilds require you to have 1010. This is the maximum, actually. I mean, the maximum is not 1010, but having more than 1010 in a guild which does their dungeons is it's not it's useless, because the 50 dungeons would with all users, with all players, with 1010, 50 dungeons would give you maximum of 200% bonus on treasury and instructor. So having more than 1010 doesn't make sense. It's waste of resources. So I would strive in the future to go to 1010, and for that approximately need 60 mushrooms. So I don't think I can achieve this in a foreseeable time, considering that I need to use shrooms also for mount in the future and similar. But it all depends if perhaps I win a giveaway, or perhaps I'm lucky with the quest shrooms or with the wheel shrooms. So in this case scenario, I will try to get to 1010. uh, in addition, one thing to note. This is my first tip to you when it comes to shrooms. Do not try to play the cup game in the tavern to get shrooms because you will lose everything. The cup game is a matter of RNG. It's 1 in 3 chance that you would get the shrooms. So I would really avoid doing that. So this is my first tip. The second tip actually is not for free to play players. It's more for well, echo streamers or just streamers in general. Is that in the shop, and I will actually enter one of my accounts just to show you. So as you can see, I have a couple of accounts. My main account currently is what I'm focused on is actually the EU2. However, I have this one old one which I just recently started playing again actually, and this is my um, let's say highest level that I remember password for. I do have, I think even I had a character on a server 8, which is a long time ago, like 15 years ago. Um, I don't know what level it was really. I think it was mage, but I don't recall the level. So I would be just showcasing you in the mushrooms. So when you are buying mushrooms, you can see that there is these packs. I advise if you are gonna spend some money, if you're an echo player, to buy the first pack immediately. It's a starter pack. It costs €5. It would give you a really nice boost. Cannot remember exactly the rewards of it, but you get some shrooms. You get the 50% mount. You get a potion of eternal life, which you can sell, as I mentioned before. So it's a really great boost. The second pack, Fortress pack, I also advise to buy. It costs €10, if not mistaken. Um, and then the third pack, don't recall the name, it's cost €25. I also advise to buy with these three, which is like 15, 30, €40. You have a lot of shrooms, you have a lot of resources for your fortress. With the fortress you can get to level 6 or even 7, I think, with the fortress and the hall of knights, which for your um, guild and also for yourself will be a significant boost because you can get great games. Like just imagine having a 50 members with 6 level hall of knights. It's like 300 in total. You can get a significant uh, boost on your gems or gems even. So this is what I would suggest. You can of course buy more. Here's a tip number 3: do not buy in the app, Steam app, or Android slash iPhone app, because the prices are higher than on the web shop and on the browser game. So I would suggest you to always use a web shop. Um, Two main reasons. First, the price is cheaper. Second, you can support your content creators, be it Mozone, be it Neutral, be it Zombie, be it anyone else. Um, you can add their name, their nick inside of the web shop, and you support them. It does not cost you anything, but you do show the support to the content creators in that way. So this personally, I always do this. I see no reason not to do it. So from that point of view, you can use the web shop. I would also suggest, unless you are really a schumer, not to buy the standard packages, unless you, as I said, unless you're a schumer, or unless there is a 20% boost, and this happens every month approximately. You would have a boost in shroom by 20%. So and actually 20% applies also for the packs. So you can also wait with the pack if, let's say, last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, there was no boost on the shrooms. You can wait for 1 week or two maybe, and then buy the pack because you would get 20% more. So that's one more thing. And one last thing, which actually I can suggest to free to play players, especially if you have time, on Android, iPhone. Actually, an iPhone, I'm not sure because I don't use iPhone, but I think there is. There is an option here with the shop next to the coupon or voucher. Actually, it was, so they changed the name. There is a sort of offers or something like that. And if you use that, you can earn shrooms by playing other games, by filling out surveys online and similar. Um, I tried a couple of them. They're not as easy or as rewarding as you might think. If they are rewarding, they are not easy. So, for example, you have to play a game, let's say State of Survival. You need to achieve level 40 of your base, and you need to have three heroes of maximum level, and then you get maybe 400 shrooms. The problem is that you have a limited time to achieve this, and at the same time, um, this is really hard to achieve. Like first 10, 15 levels may be easy, but afterwards they're really hard. However, they also give some midterm or let's say stage type of rewards. So for example, if you achieve level 15 of your base, you might get 10 shrooms. So you can use those offers to earn some shrooms as a free to play player. Personally, I tried. I did not manage to do it big. I did earn some like 10 shrooms in total. It's just that I don't have enough time to play all of those games. You can play multiple games at the same time, but all of them require quite, let's say, a significant time. They also do have offers in a sense that within that game, if you buy a certain thing in shop, you might get shrooms. You would sort of achieve a certain stage, you would get shrooms. But actually compare the prices. It pays more just to buy the shrooms here rather than buy something in another game to get shrooms here. Just doesn't make sense unless you like playing the game, of course. So that's also another tip. I will go through a lot of tips when it concerns to the game itself. Uh, Probably beginner tips. I am not by any means an advanced player. The highest level I ever had that I currently know of is like 345, as you have seen. So I have never had like level 500, 600 that some people have. However, I do grasp the concept of the game. I have the idea of sort of how to utilize certain things and similar. So I would give some pointers that I know. Also, I would give you some valuable links which exist and like SF tools or a PDF which explains how you achieve level 200 within first couple of days. If you're a Shermer, if you're Echo player, so I will try to give you some pointers in that regards. Um, that's more or less for now. I will try to keep these episodes quite regular so that you can follow the process, follow the achievements I am doing, and also play with me if you're playing the EU3 server. One thing for sure, I would suggest you get a guild as soon as possible. You can use the Tavern Discord, the Shakes and Fidget Tavern Discord, which has a looking for guild or looking for players um, section channel, so you can always find a guild. You can emphasize that you are a free to play player like I did, and I got the guild. Actually, my guild even has like a daughter guild, which I will be in because I'm a free to play player. But they also have the main guild, where they have the shroomers and let's say more serious players. So you can even advance if you're active player. So from that point of view, I would suggest immediately to get a guild. Plus, you get a really significant bonus on your experience and gold earned. So really, really important tip. That's more or less it. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.